All right. I think we're live right now, guys. And I see a couple people popped into the chat. So I just want to say thank you guys for tuning into this pretty much impromptu live stream again. I don't know what I was going to do. Like when I started this, live stream, I was thinking of things that you guys would like actually like to do to get entertained by live stream or whatever. So I figured I'd do the spirit animal test. Now you guys know that I've done a few personality tests in the past, and it's been a while, at least a couple of weeks or so since I've done personality tests, and figured it's another opportunity to get back into the spirit of the spirit test, no pun intended, with the spirit animal test. So this is obviously just for fun. Obviously, I mean, it's just something for fun. So if you guys are in the chat and you'd like to participate in the spirit animal test, follow along. Or if you're just watching on replay, I encourage you guys to click the link below, and we can answer together, and we can find out our spirit animals. But anyway, guys, if you're in the chat, just go ahead and talk amongst yourselves, or speak however you want to speak, and we can dive right in a couple minutes. We'll just wait until we get a few more people to obviously come in and participate in the chat. So I know it's kind of a weird time because on Saturdays it's just it's just kind of a weird time to stream. But some people, you know, they would appreciate it if I streamed on a Saturday, especially at 5 o'clock, because some people are in different countries, maybe in Europe, different time zones. Maybe they can catch this at this time. So, just gonna hope that you guys will find this entertaining, because when I do live streams, obviously it's to connect with you guys, it's to engage and make sure you guys have a good time. So, with this, it's it should be pretty fun, because what it says, if you guys are following along with me on the spirit animal test, the description reads: this test is designed to help you discover your unique spirit animal and the qualities and characteristics that it embodies. A spirit animal is a reflection of the person's inner self and the traits and qualities they embody. It is a powerful symbol of who we are and what we stand for. By taking this test, you will gain a better understanding of your own strengths, challenges, and unique traits, as well as how you can use these qualities to advantage in your daily life. Advantage in your daily life. Sorry, I can't talk. Which that's a typical habit for me. But anyway, guys. This test is basically for fun. It's like a personality test, as I obviously know and you guys are aware of, and hopefully it's entertaining for you guys. To continue with the description, it says the test consists of a series of questions designed to assess your personality and connection to the natural world. There are no right or wrong answers, so just be honest and let your true self shine through. Sounds kind of corny, but I understand what it's trying to say. At the end of the test, you will receive your spirit animal and a description of its characteristics and how they relate to you. Well, I sure hope so. You want to know why? Because that's the whole point of taking this test, right? Because you want to find out the answer to what your personal spirit animal is. Probably a cat for me. I literally have a spirit animal right now because, I just lost my cat recently. So technically, that is a spirit animal. If there's afterlife, hopefully there is, then my cat Sharky is the spirit animal for me. But we're just taking this quiz for fun, and we'll if you guys want to participate in the chat, let me know. And if it's going to be something exciting, if you guys want to see more of these quizzes, I can certainly do more of them, no matter how inaccurate and how fun they are, and zany, wacky, whatever you want to call it. So it's definitely going to be a fun little exercise to see what I get. And again, I have the link in the chat, so if you guys want to participate and follow along, do your own quizzes, see what you get. We're going to have a lot of fun. At least I will with this, because I always answer these questions. They're the most complex question in the world. So this should be fun. I don't even know how long this is going to take. There's 36 questions. But, like I said, I'm hoping I get a cat. I personally, I think my spirit animal is also a dog, so I'm probably a hybrid of the both, dog and cat. So domestic animal, of course. Hopefully, I'm not like a hyena or something. I don't know why it would matter, but whatever. It's just for fun. I can't watch you and test, but I will sign after you. I will after you sign off. No, that's completely fine, Catherine. I understand. Um, but if you guys, again, this is not obviously a requirement or obligation. You don't have to like take the test. If you just want to listen to me and hear me ramble on about nonsensical things like the spirit animal test, but it's related to spirituality. It's related to my channel in a way, you know, with ghosts and supernatural life. I mean, if this is like obviously a real accurate determination of my spirit animal, I guess that's awesome. But I don't really, trust it in that regard because who knows, it just could be for fun, and it's not like a scientific analysis or whatnot. So I'll take a couple more minutes to get more people hopefully to join the chat, and then we'll get started really soon, and then we'll see how crazy my spirit animal prediction is, or my analysis, or whatever you want to call it. um, it will be a fun day. At least I think so, anyway. So, how's your guys' day been going so far? It's actually a heat wave in Michigan. That's where I'm looking. If you guys are located like in America, particularly the Midwest, you guys are probably experiencing a heat wave. But especially if you're from Michigan. So, yeah, it's not fun. Uh, Currently house sitting again too, which yeah, okay, that's perfect timing. Zoe, the dog that I'm house sitting for, is definitely wanting attention right now, but I've been giving her plenty of attention. She's awesome. Uh, but yeah, a couple more minutes until we begin with the quiz, and then we can hopefully get a real kick out of this. So, and you guys can make fun of me for my silly analyses, my spirit guide analysis that they're giving me on the site. So I don't know. They always claim that this site always claims that everything's scientific and it's so accurate. And depending on the test, you can find something that perfectly aligns with what you're trying to look for, if that makes any sense. But we all know that's not always true. So we got to take it with a grain of salt and see what happens. But obviously, I want a cool animal, honestly, with amazing personality traits. And I'm going to answer it the best of my ability, rather. So we'll see. Okay, so might as well just start now without further ado, without rambling on. Again, guys, if you want to participate in the chat, if you guys want to, just sit and watch me just ramble on and say a bunch of incoherent things, and kind of like wrestle with myself with each question that I'm answering with way too much, thought, then let's take this very insignificant quiz to determine what my spirit animal is. So give this video a thumbs up and a like. Share the video if you feel like you want to, I don't know, just have a good time or something. I don't know. But we'll start. Okay, so now these are philosophical questions, I guess, like pertaining to like like what your daily habits are, and like I don't know exactly, because I've never taken this quiz before, but it's like along those lines. But we can begin. So here we go. I am realistic and good with practical matters. So the cool thing about this is, if you guys see it on the screen, you have a choice of answering the questions based on your preferences of thumbs up. So green is obviously, there's the double thumbs up, which is green, which obviously we know that means like I strongly approve of this. I strongly agree. And then the regular green is just, I agree. I can see myself agreeing with this. And then gray is neutral, so you're not obviously for or against the question being asked. And then we got the negative, the red, thumbs down, which we all know what that means. So I don't agree with this at all, and I either slightly disagree with it, or I just basically don't agree with it. So guys, prepare to hit that like button, and let's get into this really silly and I don't want to say childish personality quiz, but like childlike in the sense that it'll be like fulfilling for me, I guess. I don't know. It'll just be fun little silly questions. So again, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. I don't know what these questions are going to be about because I'm taking this blind. You know, I didn't look over it beforehand. I just wanted to, you know, have some entertainment value for you guys instead of like sitting in front of a computer and just like talking to you guys. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I keep, you know, delaying this, but we'll start now. So I'm realistic and good with practical matters. So again, I'm going to honestly answer this to the best of my ability. So this is a pretty straightforward question for me. I don't know if you guys would, well, depending on like what you guys see, I think it's a good idea to answer the question and say, I am realistic and good with practical matters. And I have to agree with that because I just said that, and also I agree with that. So, see, I told you guys I was going to ramble on without much thought, but or with actually too much thought. So, what we're going to do with this is we're going to go with the double thumbs up because I truly believe I am realistic and good with practical matters. You know, in any given situation, you know, if I'm presented with like an obstacle or problem, or I'm seeing things from the perspective of myself, obviously, and I'm trying to like figure out, trying to problem solve. What I want to do is obviously look at a situation with, you know, obvious realism. I don't want to, you know, react too emotionally to certain situations because if you do, that can kind of cloud your judgment a little bit. So I know I'm just like, you know, scratching the bare bones of like understanding this question, but like, you know, basically I don't want to spend too much time in a question, which is probably what's going to happen anyway. But anyway, let's answer this question by saying I'm realistic and good with practical matters. So thumbs up, double thumbs up, because I truly believe that, and I think it's a good idea. Uh, oh, uh, for some reason it froze for a second. Anyway, double thumbs up. So I would say I'm realistic and good with practical matters, with important matters, with matters that are relevant to life in general or whatever. Anyway, others know they can come to me for guidance and advice. Well, here's the thing with me. I don't know if I always provide the best and solid advice, but if you come to me with, uh, you know, seeking like guidance and approval, that's probably not the person I am. But I will support you in every endeavor, no matter what. I'll listen to you, or you know, I'll open up. I'll let you open up to me, so you can, you know, if you need to vent or you need to, you know, just kind of work through a situation or, you know, a particular like obstacle that you're dealing with, or if you just want to hear someone, yeah, if you just want someone to hear you, then I definitely would, for sure, be there for guidance and advice. I don't know if I could give you guys advice, like even if it's solicited, but like I'm thinking about my personal life rather. You know, if it would be a good idea to come to me for guidance and advice, probably not, because I don't know if I can give any solid practical advice in that sense. Like I'm good at like guiding myself and determining my own way of life and trying to navigate through my own little situations and stuff like that. But when it comes to other people, everyone has a different experience in life, right? So I don't like to, you know, judge someone's circumstance and be like, oh, I am the knower of all good and bad. I can tell you which path to walk down, and you know, I can definitely like, again, give you some advice if you really need it, but I'll always preface it by saying, you know, I suck at giving advice. I have no business giving advice because I don't have, you know, I'm not the type of person that you could like, you know, come to and, you know, feel a little bit more clarity when making a decision, but I will still, you know, be there for you and help you out, you know, be a ear for your listening pleasure, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this is a really deep question. I kind of spent way too much time answering it. So I'm going to say when it says others know, they can come to me for guidance and advice. So I think I'm going to say double agree. No, I'm going to say just green thumbs up because, like I said, like you can come to me. The advice might not always be solid if you really, really desperately need advice. And I guess I'll try to search for some kind of advice that I can give you, but I don't know. So I just, I definitely like give you guys good advice as long as you just consider it good advice, even though it's bad advice. So I don't know. Point is, I'll be there for you, even if you want to talk. So next question. Um, so question 3 is I am almost always willing to compromise in order to arrive at a solution that everyone can get behind. So this question is kind of like it's an interesting question because like compromise is something that a lot of people kind of struggle with because like in society it's like and just like your own personal life it's like sometimes you have no choice but to compromise if you want like an outcome that is beneficial I guess in the long run for you and for everybody and sometimes like life isn't always like black and white so you do have to compromise like when it comes to like working for example sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do in order to evolve and grow as a person when like get a promotion for example at work if I mean you guys know this but sometimes you got to do things that you don't normally want to do in order to like send on the employee hierarchy if that makes any sense but yeah but the question is and I don't even know what this has to do with spirit animal guides but I guess it's like I guess it's something really important, really connected to your spirit animal guide. So at least the questions are like kind of cool in the sense that they're like not silly questions or well thought out questions. So, but you can answer them however you want, and it can be interpreted in almost any different way. So when I hear this question, I'm almost always willing to compromise in order to arrive at a solution that everyone can get behind. Um, you know, I I don't think you should always almost compromise but you should like have a healthy balance of compromise like do it when it actually makes sense and sometimes again like there's situations where you have no choice but to compromise and then you have to humble yourself and be like you know what okay that makes sense I'll do that for a little bit of flexibility's sake but you don't want to overextend yourself so um you know if there's a solution that everyone can get behind everybody agrees and that doesn't always happen because people are different and everyone like has different like preferences for things and different personality traits so sometimes not everybody gets along so sometimes you do have to like compromise a little bit a lot of the time in order for the benefit of the entire group if you're in a situation like that so yeah and here's the question I don't know if you guys can see that if that's clear enough uh, I am I am always I'm almost always willing to compromise in order to arrive at a solution that everyone can get behind. So, that being said, I will say that I agree. Not strongly agree because what does this question even mean, really? Again, like, because it's open to interpretation, right? I mean, I know that's obviously a general like observation and like an obvious observation at that, but you know, like no matter what I answer, I'm still probably not going to get the answer that or the, the results that I probably desire for this question. So, um, we'll see how, okay, we'll see how it goes. It keeps freezing for a second, but I see Dan Lee came in with another super chat and he says, well, I'm not going to get into what he said, but or what he illustrated there. But I really appreciate the generous super chat. Like, guys, like, no matter what, if you guys donate or not donate, like, that's not even the big deal. Like, but the fact that even if you donate like $1 or two, like Dan, like, I really appreciate it no matter what, because I don't expect any of this in the first place. So like it always brings a smile to my face to see you guys like sports saying, "Oh, I love you. Oh, you're amazing. Oh," and blah blah blah. If I feel that I am amazing to you guys, but I mean I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but you know. But anyway, I really appreciate anybody who like donates. Even if you don't donate, like I said, no skin off my back. Obviously, you guys have a life and you guys have like obligations. You guys have like bills to pay. You have like, a busy life and stuff like that. And you got to tend to what matters most to you. So it's always optional to like support. That's why, I always make it a big deal to, emphasize that you don't have to support financially if you can't. Like, fix yourself first, take care of yourself first, because that's more important. um but yeah, I appreciate that, Dan, for the super chat, $2 super chat, and now I'm a very rich man with a $2 super chat, but I appreciate it. The only reason Phantom talks to me is because I pay him. Yeah, exactly, that's the only reason I talk to. Oh man. But anyway, back to the very silly quiz. I'm almost always willing to compromise in order to arrive at a solution that everyone can get behind. Um, and Catherine says no, he talks to us. Oh well, yeah. Dan is definitely joking about that, though. He's Dan is actually he runs a channel called Cursed Urban, which is a really nice like live action video of like camping and like other like shenanigans. And his channel is really good, so you should check it out. And he's a big jokester for sure. Man, but yeah, let's continue this questionnaire and see if I get the perfect spiritual animal assignment for me. But Spawn just came in and they say, "Love your stories, man." And I really appreciate that. I'm glad that you really love the stories. I'm glad that I can entertain you that way. And it's always a joy to, be able to like have the opportunity to read for you guys. Like, without an audience, I'm nothing. So obviously the effort has to be in there. I have to upload the videos and stuff like that for you guys to like have content to watch. But so it's like, a mutual effort. So you guys watch and I, produce the content. But no, I really appreciate the compliments no matter what. The likes, the shares, subscribes. Not sure if that's a real word, but we're we're just gonna roll with it. But anyway, we're gonna answer the. Oh wait, I already answered that. I forgot. See what happens when I ramble on. But yeah, that was my answer. Just the green thumbs up, not the double like. For I'm almost always willing to compromise in order to arrive at a solution that everyone can get behind. So for the most part, yeah, I will, because it's really important. But at the same time, it's like compromising too much or too little can be dangerous and have disastrous consequences. So, you got to find the right balance, as I said. So let's move on. Book learning isn't my cup of tea. I'd rather be out in the real world. Now, this is what I can definitely relate to for sure. I'd say that like there's obviously there's a good benefit to both situations. So, um, you want to have like again like it's another situation where you gotta find the balance between both things. I think book smarts is really nice. It's nice to be educated and knowledgeable and knowing things and stuff like that, but to be able to apply it in the real world and be the only great measure of like trial and error, I feel like is applying that stuff that you learned in real life and just living out in the real world. And in my experience, in my past situations in life, my every situation I can think of, personally, like I learn better when I'm out in the real world and actually learning and going as I learn. So I know that's a very generic answer, but like I just think that's a cliche answer, but it's a true answer. I feel like because again, how are you going to learn anything in life if you don't like apply it and you know in your real world life? I mean, you can be the best book smart person in the world, but there's no greater lesson to learn than real life lessons in the real world, like face to face, when you're out and about and, when you're just going about life. So, again, there's a place, it's good to have like obviously training and, book learning and stuff like that. Like, street smarts is obviously a really important aspect of life that you have to have. Um, but, again, it's like a balance. It's good to be knowledgeable. It's good to like educate yourself because that's insanely important. Uh, but at the same time, it's like you have to just, roll with it and let life be your educator, if that makes any sense. And that sounds really pretentious, but it's true. I feel like you'll get the most out of life if you like do trial error and real life, apply certain situations in real life, and you'll learn a bit better than reading it in a book mostly. But obviously, you need both of them, like a balance you know, to learn in life. So to get better and evolve as a person and grow. So I absolutely agree with. Oh wait, no. The question is, book learning isn't my cup of tea. I'd rather be out in the real world. Yeah, for me personally, I'd say yeah. For the most part, I like to learn through the books, but mostly I like to just get out and learn it with my personal experience and see how life uh, treats me and how I learn to adapt to situations, whether I do well or not. And I don't know if you guys can see the question, whatever. I read it to you guys. You know it, and you're aware. And G. Ryan has popped into the chat and said, I got the deer as my spirit animal. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I can imagine that's, it's got a lot of good qualities to have a deer. I would say that's like a very gentle spirit, but also at the same time, like they're very resilient deers. But and as far as I know, like deers are friendly, not like they're not sociable to people, but they just seem like docile creatures, and I'm sure there's like definitely like some really good aspects to that. Maybe I'll get the deer. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for participating in the chat. First of all, Ryan, and taking the quiz. I really appreciate that. Uh, it just makes the chat conversation just more lively, I guess. And following along is always nice. Again, I did put a link of the quiz that I'm currently taking in the chat. So if you guys want to take it again, feel free to, and you can discover like what your spirit animal is yourself. So moving on, I double agree with that. And yeah. So the next question is question 5. So there's 36 questions we have. Anyway, so I do what comes naturally without overthinking it or succumbing to shame. Now, this is something that I honestly feel like I struggle with a lot. Sometimes I make decisions where like I second guess myself a lot, and trusting myself when it comes to trusting the process and like making sure that I can make the right decisions in my own judgment. That really matters. And when I think about like problem solving, I always like trip up on like the details a little bit instead of sometimes you see the forest for the trees, right? And you don't recognize the trees. And I probably flip that that popular saying, but like that cliche saying. But like sometimes if you're like so focused on like the forest, you don't notice the trees and other aspects of life. So you got to find those little details and appreciate them for what they are, and trust in your own decision making, because no matter what, you're going to have either a learning experience or it's going to make you better. Either way, it's going to improve your life, because if you take the lesson that you learned from your failures and your successes, then you can only become a better person, right? So when it comes to doing things instinctively, and what this question says, I do what comes naturally without overthinking it or succumbing to shame. Well, you can see just by me answering the question that I'm overthinking it right now. So, but I'm really taking the time to like examine the question and interpret it in my way. So obviously everyone's answer is going to be a lot different than how I interpret things. But I would say I I don't always do what comes naturally, because at first, like I'll do it. Like sometimes I'll like do it, and then I'll like overthink it. I'll be like, "Oh man, did I really mean to do that?" And then talk about it for like 4 or 5 days, as Dan knows, because we're friends in real life too, so he's aware of that. But yeah, Dan, we're doing a personality quiz. What is my spirit animal? It's in the title right now. I don't know if I added it, the title of this live stream, but like, yeah, we're trying to determine which spirit animal I closely align with. So if you guys are just coming into the chat, might as well just mention it again. Um, you know, so I can't even talk right now, or ever for that matter. But anyway, guys, yeah, again, I'm going to be rambling on a lot. Like I said, I warned you before I took the quiz that that's my specialty. I know how to ramble and like sound incoherent. Hopefully, I sound coherent, though. But yeah, I'm just going to say your spirit animal is a pug. You know what? Pugs are very misunderstood breeds of dogs. They're fat. But they got a cute, adorable face. So that's basically me in a nutshell. So fat and but they have an adorable face. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, and they're really messy. Pugs are basically pigs, but with a source of wonderment. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I do what comes naturally without overthinking it or succumbing to shame. I'm gonna say I disagree with that. Like sometimes I can make a decision and I know for the most part, like I'm making the right decision, or I feel like, I'm on the right path whenever I make a certain decision in life. Other times when I'm trying to problem solve and stuff like that, I obsessed over it like so many times. And, I replay it over in my mind over and over again. And then I second guess myself. So it could go either way, but I'm just going to say I disagree and honestly, answer to the best of my ability. So I want an accurate assessment, even though this is not like a really serious like test or anything. So I say, no, I disagree. I don't always do what comes naturally without overthinking it or succumbing to shame. I don't necessarily succumb to shame. It's just mostly the overthinking part. Like in the end that, I make whatever decision or I'm confronted with a problem in life. I'm just like, or I'm trying to make just a simple decision, like what to have to eat for dinner. Like, tell you, a really quick example before I move on to the next question. But I was trying to figure out whether I wanted to just walk down to the corner store really quick to get myself a bite to eat or get pizza. But I was just like, no, the delivery fee is going to be too much. And then I'm going to have to tip all over that on top of that. And it's probably going to cost an arm and a leg just to do the delivery. And that's way too expensive. On the other hand, it's really hot. And if I walk over to the corner store, even if it's like 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to be insanely drenched in sweat. And, corner store isn't always cheap either because I went to the one that's across the store. So I was just kind of like mulling over in my mind, like, what should I do? Should I just take the easier option of like the lazy option of delivering personally? Then my bank account will cry because I'll regret it. I'll eat the pizza and it'll be filling for the night and then it'll be gone. And then that's the money that's gone. Or do I go walk down in a blistering heat wave that's 95 degrees and get myself like a snack or, like some kind of sandwich or whatever that at the corner store? So both options are obviously not the best situation, but that's why that compromise question comes into play in real life. I have to compromise somehow. Or I'll go hungry and die of hunger. Oh man. But Dan says treat yourself with pizza. I might think about that. I'm considering just doing that because I also don't want to be away from. I want to minimize the amount of time away from the dog because obviously that's my job right here. I'm house sitting currently, so that's really at the end of the day like the most important thing. So I don't want to be without Zoe, and I don't want her to be without me because not that anything would happen, but just in case, I always want to be present for her. Sure, she gets the needs that she wants, and who knows, maybe she might have an accident when I'm gone and I'm gonna have to clean it up. So that's part of the job anyway, but she's been really good and she's been potty trained, so I think she's fine. So she hasn't had like any problems with me lately. She's actually a really good dog. She's an older dog. She's a mix of like Mastiff Pit and Rottweiler and all these things, but she's like the most docile creature in humanity, like face of humanity. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. She's like a really nice dog, though. She's gentle and she's sweet and she's really easy to work with for the most part. So that's good. Not all dogs are going to be like that, but she's one of the greatest dogs I've ever had the privilege of caring for. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I told you guys I was going to ramble on and like say a bunch of random things and get off track. So, but we are answering this question. So I said disagree for I do what comes naturally without overthinking it or succumbing to shame. It's just the way my brain works at times. So next question before Dan participates again in the chat and says, "That's what you need to get a That's why you need to get a bicycle. Turn those 30-minute walks into 5 minutes, less time away from the client." That's true, and that's something that I also have not, addressed to make myself more efficient when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like just to get a bike would be nice because just walking for like 20 minutes, even uh, would I can significantly reduce my commuting time by getting a bike in that situation. So yeah, let's move on though. I often go the extra mile to help my coworkers, friends, and family, even if they do not always deserve it. Oh, well, this is a great question, actually, because I've dealt with situations like that in my life before, where, where even if they do not always deserve it, like, here's the thing. I don't bend over backwards to, like, impress anybody, but, if my personality is a certain way, I tend to, like, do whatever I feel like is right to me, regardless of, like, feelings or whatever, and get, like, internalizing too much of my feelings and stuff like that. Because when I take a step back and, like, analyze situations and I, like, try to like, evaluate a certain situation, that there's a lot that goes into like, you know, going the extra mile and stuff like that and helping my because it's not, you're not doing that you're not doing that with expectation when you're, I mean, some people do, but some people like, when they go the extra miles for like a specific reason. And this question like really, hammers the question this question really hammers whatever. Anyway, yeah, like it's just like it really like emphasizes like I go to extra mile to help my coworkers, friends, and family, even if they do not always deserve it. Because like it almost ties into the compromise situation. Like sometimes you have to compromise in certain situations, even if it's not to your benefit. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to be like, okay, well, I got to do what's best for the entire group or, the situation at hand so that I could, you know, uh, you know, improve my life or evolve or grow as a person. But in this specific situation, you just got to I personally go the extra mile no matter what. No matter, like, I go the extra mile in any situation, regardless of whether I get, expectation of like praise or anything like that. Or, if I'm just doing something, I just do it to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not expecting, I don't, like I said, I don't expect anything when I do something. Like, for example, when I'm live streaming right now, I don't expect people to be, I don't expect like 500 people to be in the chat and like, completely, open up to me and tell me how amazing a narrator I am. Like, no, I don't expect that. And I don't expect people to like, obviously, just be there if you guys, are, if you guys are there rather, then that's fine. But like, the bottom line is like, when it comes to this question specifically, I often go to extra mile no matter what. Really, unless there's like literally like I'm killing myself uh, for the benefit of other people. Like basically, like I'm destroying my life for the benefit of other people. I won't go that far, but like I'll just do things like just because I want to do them because that's just my personality trait, you know. So that's a funny question to answer, just cause like, you know, it really does like, separate like genuine and authentic people versus people who are always doing something to like, whether I guess in the most extreme case, like control the situation, the narrative or person, or pressure them or whatever, or just because like there's this disguised like kindness where if you guys know, like sometimes like you, and maybe you guys have been in a situation where like people like do things specifically for the kindness of, it's disguised as kindness, but it's actually cloaked in something more sinister and more, well, maybe not sinister, but like more manipulative. Like, I want to get you to do this and that, blah, blah, blah. But like, I believe most people, when they do things, are doing it from the kindness of their hearts anyway. Like, I don't think that most people are bad. I have a very optimistic viewpoint in my life. Like, I have an optimistic view of like people in general. So, in this situation, I'm not the type of person to be like, oh yeah, everyone's crap and everyone's a crappy person, stuff like that. Because sometimes we do make mistakes and stuff like that in life, and who knows. But at the same time, when I'm specifically thinking about this question, I often go the extra mile to help my coworkers, friends, and family, even if they do not always deserve it. Um, I will say yes, not always, because again, you don't want to destroy yourself just to like impress other people. Like that, the whole goal of this, at least when I'm interpreting this question, is like I don't, do it for expectation of anything else. So that's basically what I'm saying. That was a really long-winded answer, and like I said, like this is gonna be a whole ramble session. So hopefully, you guys understood what I was meaning by saying that. But like, and I was able to express myself in a way that made sense. But yeah. Um, there we go. On to the next question. It's funny because this is a spirit animal question, Nair. So it's not anything like any serious, like philosophical, like deep existential kind of stuff like that we have to like analyze. But like I'm treating it like it's like the most important thing in the world, which is kind of funny. I guess that says a lot about me. But we're finally heading to the number 7 question. And we're like 41 minutes in. So I'm taking a really long time answering these questions, but you know what? It's just the way life works. It's how my brain works in life. But so the next question for question 7 for the spirit animal test. I don't know what this has to do with what your spirit animal guide is, but like, so the question is for number 7 is I often use complex words in my writing and speech. And that's a good question because, okay, so me personally, when I was younger, like in my early 20s, maybe like, I want to say like 18, 20, maybe like, I don't know, like around my 20s or whatever, I used to be a bit wordy in my writing to sound like a little bit more, I don't want to say educated, but like more, I was flaunting my writing style a little bit, and I was trying to like, do a little bit too much with my writing, stuff like that, and sound like, eloquent and articulate and all this and that. Because, when I was younger, I used to actually be really into like poetry and writing and stuff like that, and creative writing. And I'm still into music. So that's, a form of creativity and poetry in a way. But like, I used to have like a career, like published, not career as in like, like monetary or anything like that, like a small little career while I was getting published, writing and stuff like that. So, it was mostly like poetry and stuff like that. But like, I would always like go all out creatively and stuff like that. I get really into the poetry. Now life has shifted a little bit. My thinking has evolved and has grown and different. I have like different interests now. So like I'm not really quite interested in poetry as I used to be. So it was nice to have like, my name and like writing in a book, in an anthology, for example. And that was really cool to get published after like trying 4 years of rejection and getting accepted by, the gatekeepers of writing. But I just went off on a tangent and answered something completely different almost. But yeah, Catherine says, I missed the question. Damn commercials. Well, I don't have any control over the commercials anymore, the ads on here, because, I mean, unfortunately, YouTube has taken a stranglehold on when you can place those mid-roll ads, and they determine whether or not like videos get ads on them or not. But all videos, whether they're monetized or not, are getting ads. So if you get a lot of ads, like, sorry, some of it's not my doing. Some of it obviously is because I'm trying. Well, I mean, this it's not going to make me any money anyway. But the whole point is like sometimes like the ad situation is just getting worse, and YouTube just decides when they want to put ads on videos, and fortunately that's out of my control. But the question is, I often use complex words in my writing and speech. So like I said, back in the day, I used to be like really into like writing like these grandiose like essays and like writing and like philosophical things and stuff like that. And I guess that's a part of my human side that I used to like really tap into, and I still do that to extent. Like I do get into the whole existential thinking of life and stuff like that at times. So I'm a person who sees like signs in certain situations, stuff like that. So I'm spiritual in that sense, but like when it comes to using, complex words in my writing and speech, that was like more something. I feel like I was just like I was younger, so I feel like I had a chip on my shoulder in a sense because I was trying to prove that I'm like this amazing guy who can write and like impress people and stuff like that. But when you're younger, you do stupid things to impress people. I was doing it because like I felt like I had a talent at like writing and I was eloquently writing, but at the same time, it was one of those situations where like I was trying to impress people, I guess, with my writing, or I was trying to, I don't know what I was thinking, but stupid thought when you're younger and you just want to like do things to impress people. But uh, you know, I definitely did at one point like be really into like writing and just like trying to make sure that I say the right thing or say like really profound things that like really hit people's heart, touch people's heart and stuff like that, which is kind of funny. But um, now I'm just like more casual about it. Like I'm not, I'm older. Like there's no reason to like, if I'm writing for myself, I should be writing for myself. If I'm writing just to write in my style, I should just write in my own voice and style. Like, no need to like just be grandiose about everything and just trying to like, appeal to people or whatever. In that sense, just to just be yourself. Like that's something that I've learned over time to get used to. Is like that's essentially the situation. It's like you have to just be yourself in every situation, be true to yourself. Sounds cliche, but like life is a lot easier when you're just being yourself, and not trying to be this like, larger than life figure, or trying to be like who you're obviously not trying to be. uh, so yeah, you just got to embrace yourself, and it's again, it sounds cliche, but like that just basically a long-winded answer for question 7 again. For I use complex words in my writing and speech. I used to. So the 20-year-old me, yeah, absolutely, I used to do that. Like college essays were always just like like really intense. It sounded like chat GPT before chat GPT even existed. I can't even pronounce that even correctly. But I would say not these days. I don't. I mean, I guess maybe sometimes I have a tendency to like flaunt even today, like my writing ability or my poetic like creative writing. I like saying a lot of silly things on Twitter just for fun, that kind of thing, or X as they call it now, or just kind of goof around on the internet now. But like I never really say anything that's like too like introspective for the sake of like impressing people or whatever, because sometimes people do that, and that's not who I am anymore. Used to be me, yeah, sure. Maybe I have those moments like every once in a blue moon, but now it's like no. I just I don't have time for that for myself personally. you know and it's just social media and the internet, who cares? At the end of the day, people are going to appreciate you whether or not you're there or you're authentic or not. So whatever. Anyway, question 8, and that was a really long-winded question. So hopefully, Catherine, you got that question, and you were able to hear my response to that, and the ads weren't in the way. But the next question is, I plunge into projects on impulse. Um, No, I'm definitely not the type of person who's like very impulsive when it comes to decision making. Like I said, I'm the exact opposite. I overthink my every decision, even simple decisions. Like I overthink them at times. So, when it comes to like what I just said, the example of like going down to the corner market, like that's really few minutes away or whatever, just like ordering a delivery pizza because it's really expensive, and I don't want to add the tip plus the delivery charge because that's, unnecessary. Um, yeah, I plunge into projects on impulse. This is going to be the easiest question I'll answer because I completely disagree with it. um, okay, you guys can. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to make sure that you guys see the question. I plunge into projects on impulse. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I don't know if you guys are different, but personally, that's me. I'm not an impulsive person. I actually am very meticulous in my thinking. When it comes to making decisions for myself, I kind of veer towards like overthinking and overanalysis and trying to, you know, almost obsess over my decision making. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do, but a lot of times I do. Anyway, question 9. I would rather go to an informal fast food joint than a fancy restaurant. Now, that's a really good question because, you know, in both situations, they're like you could understand why you'd want to crave both, um, food situations. When it comes to like going to an informal fast food joint, like just a regular standard fast food, that's always fun. Sometimes you just have that craving and you just want to enjoy like fast food and stuff like that. Sometimes you want to go to a fancy restaurant because, uh, sometimes you'll get quality food. Not always. It could be a ripoff, but you're usually paying for the experience too. So I guess you get what you pay for in that sense. But high when you go to a fancy restaurant, at least usually the quality ingredients are better. But for me personally, I veer towards like just regular old-fashioned fast food. And wow, voice. But I kind of like the idea of doing like cheaper foods, healthy foods but cheaper. Like I don't like dressing up to go to a fancy restaurant and like sitting down and like having a meal most of the time. There is a place for that every once in a while. It's a rarity. I never do that personally, except like maybe if I'm on vacation and there's a place I really want to go to and it's happens to have like really good reviews and it happens to be a fancy restaurant. Maybe I take advantage of that because you never know when you're going to have the opportunity to go there again, especially if you're on vacation and you're not in the area. So it's kind of like you kind of have to do it almost, but at the same time, it's like you got to be smart about your finances too, and not make like rash decisions and like overspend on food. Just I overspend on food sometimes. That's one of my vices, but it's usually not with the fancy restaurants. It's usually with fast food. Maybe not even fast food as much, but in grocery. Like, oh, I see like, you know, some really, really, really delicious like grocery food items or whatever, like in the grocery store. I'm like, I want that. Like, I want that ice cream. I want that, that deli sandwich or whatever. That's they prepare for you, whatever. I want that chicken. I want to try all those like drinks that they have on the shelves or whatever that are, varied and have different kind of flavors and different brands like Pepsi and all that. Well, no, not Pepsi, but that's just a general like example I'm giving you guys. Um, but hopefully you guys are entertained by this. I don't even know if I'm doing a good job with taking this quiz, and I think I lost the quiz. Something happened. Fast food is Catherine says fast food has changed. Um, yeah, it has changed a bit because it is getting more pricier for sure. Actually, I would say, but I mean, it's still like better than fancy restaurant in terms of price. No matter what, it's still going to be cheaper than that. So at least there's that. But like, fast food is getting more expensive for sure. Uh, um, but what am I? Sorry, guys, I lost the site for some reason. I don't know why. Ooh, did I lose it? Oh, that's not good. Oops. Sorry, guys. I think I lost the web. Sometime I don't know how. Um, I lost the website for the quiz, the personality quiz. But here, let me find it one more time and answer. Get caught up with the questions because I apparently lost the window. Oh boy, boy, boy. Bear with me, guys. And if you're just entering the chat, I just want to say hi and thanks for listening to my rambles and random situations where I'm discussing my philosophy on life, basically through a personality quiz and making a big deal out of something that's not even a really big deal. But yeah. Okay, well, it looks like I lost my place, so I'm going to get caught up. I only answered 7 questions anyway, but let me redo it again, answering the same questions that I did before. Um, this is can't believe that happened. But anyway, no big deal. Okay, so let me get caught up really quick with the questions. If you guys want to pour in and say hi in the chat, if you're lurking and you're like you're not a regular subscriber, or maybe you are a regular subscriber and you're too shy to say, or you're too shy to say anything right now. That's fine. I have my moments of shyness too. My introversion. I'm an introverted person anyway, but yeah. Fast food has changed over the years. I remember when you could get extra tartar sauce and it was coming off the fish. Now you have to order extra total sauce just to get the tartar sauce. And don't get me started on the French fries. Yeah, I mean, there's always these. You bring a good point because like sometimes they add on like extra expenses now that are totally unnecessary, and now it's like a simple order becomes like so much more expensive than you intended it to be. But there's like now they have like dine in like well they always had dine in fees, but it's still just really expensive. But let me get caught up on the rest of these questions now. Okay, hold on. Wait a second. Now the questions are like not even. Oh my gosh, the questions are now the reverse now. They're now different. Same questions, but 36 of them are still needing to be answered. And now they flipped the questions, so it's like not the same questions in order. Well, that's not fun. Some of them are the same, but hold on, let me. I guess we'll keep going with this anyway. But 'cause I really want to find out my spirit animal, even though it's not a serious thing. Anyway, but thanks guys for being patient with me while I like try to figure this out. And I guess I'm technologically illiterate at this point because I don't know how to navigate a website, which any old person can do, really, for the most part. And here I am, 33 years old, and I'm struggling. So bear with me, guys. Okay, so next, I didn't answer this question at least, but I already answered it for myself because I already know the question. I know the question, but I also know the answer, and it's not going to be really hard to answer. Others see me as a kind-hearted and well-intentioned. I think for the most part, if you know me, if you truly know who I am, you know that I'm a kind-hearted and well-intentioned person. I think at the core, at its core, like everybody usually is, but again, you have to. There's a period in life where you have to get to know people personally and to understand who they are. And sometimes it doesn't take really long to understand like people who they are. Other times it's like people are like not or they're complicated creatures. So not everything is black and white. Not everything is like, oh, this means they're a good person. This means it's a red flag. Oh, this means that they're doing this. That means they're terrible, and this means that they're really good. No, life is not that simple, and I wish it were because then the whole situation. I mean, we just have an easy go of it in life. So, but life is complicated. It's not always easy. And when it comes to people, it's like Will others view you the same as you view yourself? Obviously not. Maybe some people will see your true identity if they know you really well, or if you know, they see you as like, how they choose to see you. It happens too. Like, sometimes no matter how hard you try, people are going to see you as how they want to see you, not the truth or how like authentic you truly are. So even if you are extremely authentic as a person, um, it doesn't matter because like some people, they may misinterpret you and they may view you in the lens of how they want to see you. So but me personally, others see me as a kind-hearted and well-intentioned person. I think most people do, and I believe I am. So, I try my best to be kind-hearted and well-intentioned. I think I'm always well-intentioned, but like kind-hearted is also kind of a difficult question to answer sometimes because kind-hearted, like I always try to be kind-hearted for sure. But what if you're in a situation where like the person is like really hard to deal with and you can't always be, it really tests your kindness when people, approach you and they're exact opposite. So yeah, like sometimes you get tested because you're human. But I mean, at the base of it, a good person is always going to do the right thing and always going to, be who they are. So, and small head guy, yeah. Oh yeah, small head guy. Yeah, that's a little inside joke that I have with my friend Dan. Lee explores. We can't be kind to him. No, we can't. Not always. Yeah, but next question. When others are in trouble, I tend to feel their qualms as if they were my own. Yeah, I would say, with this question right here, and I realize it says 3 of 36. If you guys notice that I lost the question and it was all, scrambled up again, so the questions are out of order, so I had to redo it. Anyway, answering the question, when others are in trouble, I tend to feel their qualms as if they were my own. Um, oh, let me get some water for a second, guys. Okay, I'm back with some water. All right. Okay, let's answer this. When others are in trouble, I tend to feel their qualms as if they were my own. As I was saying, yes, 100%. Your problem is my problem a lot of the time. I mean, some situations are like, obviously, like that's your problem, and I'm not gonna feel guilty about like whether or not you bring me down with you in an extreme sense. Like if we're talking about like a situation where someone's trying to guilt trip you and whatever, and they're trying to like make their problems yours. Literally, like when you're just in a situation where people are just like being like not reasonable and stuff like that. But in this situation, like if someone's like, for example, you're just dealing with the loss of a pet or like a human being, like you're. It's not funny, but my like I don't even know why I'm laughing at this point. Just nervous laughter, I guess. But if you're dealing with a really serious situation, you lose someone you love that's close to you. Obviously, like for a moment, I'll be like, yeah, that like I can emphasize with you, and I can feel like really strong about how you're feeling because it sucks to lose someone. So in a sense, like if you lose someone, it's like those are my problems too because if it hurts you, it hurts me in that way. So not in the sense that like if you make your own decisions and they're questionable and stuff like that, you try to try to like impart your problems on other people. That's different. But when it comes to like, human situations where like you're really feeling for someone's like losses, or they're really down in the dumps about something, you can definitely like be like, oh yeah, I definitely understand what you're going through, and I feel like, we're going to war with this problem with you. Like, like we're like, I'm obviously like there to, help you get through the situation and help you, I don't know, fight this obstacle so you're not alone, that kind of thing. Like, it's more like I'll be there for you kind of thing. And yeah, so that's what I would say. I would say I definitely would like to be a part of your struggle sometimes, just to be there for you, to be a listening ear and whatnot. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. And again, hopefully I'm sounding like a coherent man um, right now. Hopefully I'm sounding like not a mess or whatever. So, and you guys are enjoying like this personality quiz. But if you are, let me know and give me a like. Put it in the comment section below. If not, you guys can always watch this. If you're not watching it currently, like live, it's gonna be a replay, so you'll definitely enjoy it for sure. So, just checking my dog, Zoe, even though she's not my dog technically. She's basically my own. I'm taking care of her for now, so she's my dog for now. I feel protectiveness towards those I love. See that? So let me just say, like, yeah, I would say that I definitely like agree with this for sure. Because like I said in the last question, it's like if like you're like if you hurt my friend or whatever, a really close friend, a best friend, a mom, father, brother, sister, whatever, or anybody who's like really close to you intimately in that way. Oh yeah, like that's my problem too. Like if you got a problem with someone else, you got a problem with me. The person that like I really respect and love and stuff like that. Again, everybody fights their own demons and their problems. It's not always good to be confrontational and stuff like that. That's definitely not what I'm talking about. And obviously, people can understand what I mean when I'm saying that. But like sometimes, like you do have to feel protective towards, certain people. Like, if they're treated unnecessarily fairly and stuff like that, and they do something, you're like, oh man, no, I'm gonna fight with you to the death for to make sure that you're protected and stuff like that. That's an extreme exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Um, Hopefully, anyway. But yeah, like if someone hurts my dog, for example, I'll go and rough them up because my dog's hurting is me hurting. So I'll whatever. I mean, obviously, don't ever like engage in physical confrontation unless it's self-defense and you have no choice and you're just kind of like in a situation where you have to. But always be a pacifist. I don't not actually. You know what? Let's not go with my advice. Like I said earlier, I'm not really good at advice, but you guys know I'm like just being silly for the most part, and this is not a serious quiz. So, but I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Like I said, I feel primal protectiveness towards those I love. Absolutely. Another long-winded answer that obviously indicates that yeah, I am 100%. Absolutely. Uh, Question number, well, okay. The next question is I dislike sitting still for long periods of time. You know what? If I have to, I will with narrating and stuff like that and just doing YouTube. But I prefer to be like on my feet and like exploring and going places and working with my hands and being like someone who genuinely likes to be active in general. So I would say, yeah, I definitely do dislike it. If I have to, I will. But if I have to sit still, I will. I have the patience for it, but I prefer to be out and active. I prefer to work with my hands. I prefer to be active. Okay, so I'm constantly looking for ways to get ahead. Um, well, aren't isn't any like if you're constantly looking for ways to get ahead, isn't that like everybody's situation? Like obviously you want to get to the next level of success and you want to, achieve the greatest situation that you can for yourself. Like, you want to like be in a situation that puts you in a, a great situation to succeed and stuff like that. But life doesn't always work that way, right? So, um, I don't know. I am constantly looking for ways to get ahead, but like not at the expense of other people. And yeah, I mean, not at the expense of other people, but obviously I do want to get ahead in life. You don't want to struggle all your life, your entire life. You want to get better as a person. You want to get better in your life and business and like success and like your career. So obviously getting ahead is there's nothing wrong with that. Again, if it's your personal own self-worth and you're trying to be a better person and improve your life and stuff like that, then yeah, get ahead because like, you need to put yourself in a better position. Financially, being a good person, yada yada, not at the expense of other people, but not, dragging other people down with you, but like, doing it for yourself, what feels right. So yeah, I absolutely agree with that. So next question is most people genuinely want to help others. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I'm not a really cynical person when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't think about it too deeply. I'm like, yeah, most people are good people at the heart of it. Like, the internet and social media will make you think that it's that complete opposite, but the internet, the internet tends to like play up like the drama, and they're just trying to get clicks and bad news always sells or whatever. So like obviously you're gonna see the negative thing being portrayed more than the positive. And you're not gonna, something that's like really, just something positive, then that's not gonna get any like exposure or whatever. So um yeah, I mean I definitely think that most people genuinely want to help others. I think, I've been helped before on this channel before with people's kind donations, stuff like that. When obviously you guys never need to do that in the first place, and that's really helpful. And that just, that kind of help from strangers like means a lot, and like just telling people like in comments that you're awesome. That's there's a community here, and specifically on my YouTube channel, where people are like really helpful and supportive and stuff like that. So, like, I mean, I've never really had any issues with people for the most part. You're always going to have like a bad cookie every once in a while, right? In a row of good cookies, like you can eat them, they taste really good, and they're going to have the one soggy, stale ass cookie that's going to be really disgusting and taste bad. That's just how life is. But, for every bad cookie you meet and bad cookie you eat for that matter, too, you're going to eat a lot of good cookies. And I prefer ice cream, but like cookies are really good, like Oreos. Yeah, everybody knows Oreos. That's a very American answer to say I love Oreos, but yeah, I was just thinking about Oreos right now. Maybe I am a little bit hungry, but yeah, that's not a long-winded answer. Just to say, most people genuinely like want to help others. That's my personal perspective. I do believe that, uh, and I do believe that like goodness will come back to you if you're a good person. hmm We already answered that question, so moving on. Okay, guys. So next question. I rarely regret anything I have done. Yeah, for the most part, I do rarely regret anything. Everything. I rarely do regret anything I've done because I personally live by the philosophy that you only regret the things that you don't do over the things that you do. Um, and that could be like a variety of different things you can apply. Uh, You can apply certain various situations doing that. When it comes to that kind of question, so um, for me personally, I really regret anything I've done. hmm I mean, I don't know what else to say other than, yeah, that's true. I definitely agree with that. I mean, like, I'm not a perfect person by any means, but you gotta like just live in the moment, and like when you make a decision, it's done. It's in the past. I mean, you can always correct yourself. You can always right wrongs. You can always grow and evolve as a person and get better. Um, having any regrets is bad to have in life. You should never have any regrets in life. I mean, as corny as that is to say, but like that's the truth. So the next question is, and I'm trying to look here. So I'm very active throughout the day and don't spend much time doing nothing. Oh man. Okay, sorry guys. So Catherine says my biggest regret is not going to a writer college. Well, um, I can see what you mean by that. I mean, I sympathize with you in certain situations. With anybody's situation, when they say stuff like that, and I can get it. Um, but yeah, I get it. I get it. I see what you mean by like, you know, feeling like you didn't want to go to writers college at the moment was, something you didn't really like think about too hard, and then down the line you're like, oh, that's my biggest regret. I get that. But yeah, like it's like generally I believe like personally, it's always good to be forward thinking and like think about the future, not to like beat yourself up too much about the past. Hey Zoe, hey, how are you doing? Hey. Anyway, sorry guys. Distracted by the awesome dog over here. She's a good girl. If you guys want to see her, yeah, she's a great dog. She's a spirit animal right now, a living, breathing spirit animal. She has spirit and she's an animal, so she has a lot of spunk in her, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about. What's going, doggy? Okay. Are you happy? Okay, I need to stop being distracted. Anyway, the next question is I look down on people who unwisely share their secrets. Not really. I don't really think about that too much. I don't really care. Like, why would I judge someone if they just like share their secrets unintentionally? And I mean, they don't. I mean, what kind of secrets do you have anyway? It depends on the secret, I guess. Like, but it really doesn't matter. It's not really my business. Why would I care? Like, I don't really think about other people's like business. If they want to do that, go ahead. Like, but that's not like my priority. I don't. I mean, seems kind of unnecessary to worry about that kind of stuff. Like that's that's like worrying about the small picture when you should be worrying about yourself mostly. But yeah, I don't look down on people who unwisely share their secrets. That'd be kind of silly. I don't really care. Like, it's not really my business. Again, like, I have no business, like, worrying about like other people's secrets, even if they do it unwisely. Like, everyone's different, and sometimes people do it. Whether it comes out and slips out, and they just need someone to talk to, I guess that happens. Maybe they're lonely and they want someone to talk to, and they have like all these things that they want to get off their chest. Maybe makes them feel better. I don't know, but I don't really, I'm not going to really judge someone for that, or at all for that matter. I mean, I disagree. So double thumbs down. I thrive in an atmosphere of excitement. I don't know what this means. So this question is like really generalized. Like I don't even understand like what it's pertaining to, but I guess like it just means like I think it's trying to get at like dogs and stuff like that. Anyway, dogs are really excited all the time, mostly, and they're in an atmosphere of like something really exciting. That really makes them riled up even more. Like if I play fetch with Zoe right now, she's gonna get really excited and run around. Or if I take her for a walk, she's gonna just really be excited. So, you know, Zoe's just gonna be stop licking herself if I take her for a walk right now. She's gonna jump up and prop up. Zoe. Or if I want to give her a treat, she gets excited. Zoe, Zoe, you want a treat? You want a treat? Oh, see, now she's taking me seriously. I mentioned the treats. Look, see, it's definitely a quality of a dog. So if I answer this question and I say I get excited, I'm going to be a dog spirit animal. That's going to be my spirit animal, a dog, because I know a thing or two about dogs. But yeah, I got to give her a treat now because I mentioned a treat. I don't want to like lead her on. Here you go, Zoe. You want to know? Come on, let's over here. You guys want to see a dog that's really good with commands? Let's see. There she is. Zoe. Zoe. Look at look. Look at her. She's a great dog. Sit. Oh wait, you are you are sitting. Okay, you want this treat? Here you go. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, you want to be on TV? Well, I mean, there's not much, not much of an audience, but the audience that is here is happy and they love to see you. So, you know, I'm not a big multi-millionaire YouTuber or anything like that. I don't have millions of subscribers, but I do have a great audience. Okay. All right, let's stop messing around and answer the questions again. Zoe's the goat. Yeah, literally. She's probably a goat in disguise, and she's been tricking me all this time. She's very um, she's a very great dog with great goat abilities, we can just say. The greatest of all time, Zoe the goat. Yeah, she's great. But anyway, I thrive in an atmosphere of excitement. I mean, I guess. Yeah, if people are excited about certain situations, like I have like a really good time. You're at a concert and everybody's like really happy. I'm gonna be really happy too, because that's the vibe, right? You win the lottery, and that creates a positive atmosphere. I'm gonna jump up and down for you, and be like, "Yeah, you're awesome for doing that." You go to the freaking Vegas and gamble, and you win like a lot of, you win a big surprise or whatever. Whatever the hell am I talking about? You guys know what I mean. Yeah, I'm gonna be happy for you, but I guess I do thrive in an environment of excitement. So, one thumbs up. I don't need anything crazy. I'm more of a cat person, but I'm more of a cat person, but oh yeah, 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 definitely. And I mean, For sure, I understand that. I understand that like dogs are like a big responsibility. I've had a cat before, so I had the best of both worlds, so I understand that. But yeah, I definitely understand like being a cat person versus a dog person. Some people are. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it, obviously. But if I win the lottery, you're getting a cut. Okay, thank you. I thought I misread that as as in if I win the lottery, you're getting a cut. As in like if I win the lottery, you're getting cut out of my life. Like I'm just gonna shut the door. Goodbye. You're gone forever. Yeah. Well, I hope that would happen, but like I'd be like, ah, man, leaving me in the dust. But honestly, I would understand though, because if you're like, man, like I have all this money that I won from the lottery, I don't want anybody to like be like, you know, be like, oh, can I get some? No, just kidding. It's not even like my personality anyway. But I'm just rambling, saying nonsense too. But I did warn you guys at the beginning of the video that it was going to be just a big nonsensical live stream where nothing makes sense and we're just going to have a nice personality test. Even though it's like silly, and probably look at a dog from time to time. But yeah, I thrive in an atmosphere of excitement for sure, for sure. Zoe, don't do that. No licking. No licking yourself. No, no, no. No, no, no. Okay, we're on to the next question, which is I am rarely really shy or inhibited. Inhibited? Yeah, okay, so I'm rarely really shy. Rarely? See, here's the question though. Am I shy or just introverted? I prefer the company of myself. I love, doing things by myself sometimes. Like, I love, obviously, friendships. I love, like, hanging out with people. There's nothing better than, like, connecting with people and hanging out, but I do like my alone time. But does that necessarily mean that I'm shy, though? Really shy? Yeah, a little bit. Because, I mean, like, it kind of comes with the territory a little bit when you're introverted sometimes. Because, I just, I don't know. I am, I guess I am and I am not shy at the same time. Or inhibited. I would say I'm inhibited. What does that mean? I'm stupid and I don't know how to talk. But Zoe, what are you distracted about? Hold on. I want to see what she's distracted for. What? There's nothing outside. Nobody. There's a street. Like, stairs, trees. So trees all around. So Andy and Christian Lucchies has entered the chat and said hi. Nice to see you. We're definitely like rambling on in this video, this live stream video rather, and we're taking a personality quiz about which spirit animal I am, and we're I mean, not we're. I'm the only one who's obviously getting distracted, saying a bunch of random things and like overanalyzing the entire questionnaire that I have. But thank you. Hopefully you enjoy the video in the live stream and stuff like that, and it's not boring for you guys, everybody for that matter. And you're getting a kick out of this, and this is like we're hanging out and we're answering questions about life's biggest mysteries. Just kidding. Because there's nothing more mysterious than wondering what your spirit animal is, because that's what everybody wants to know, right? Ties into astrology, I guess, a little bit too, and obviously my channel. But yeah. Anyway, I am rarely really shy or inhibited. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go and say I am always shy. Oh, maybe not always, but like, um, most of the time I'd be like, yeah, I just want to like, I don't know. It depends on the situation. See, this is not a really black and white question to answer. Like none of these are like really because it's your interpretation. So, so I'm gonna disagree with that because I can be shy. I guess I want to be reticent at times in my life, and stuff like that. Well, I don't know if I want to be most of the time, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I want to be by myself and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe you guys understand what I mean. My spirit animal's a raccoon because I'm always eating out of the trash. Yeah, I mean, my spirit animal, and I'm going to guess is possum because I am trash. I live in the trash. I crawled out of a dumpster this morning, but no, I'm just kidding, guys. Just yeah, self-deprecating humor. That was like a really stupid joke and pointless joke, so I don't know why I even told that in the first place, but um, yeah, sometimes you just got to be honest with yourself and self. I don't know. See, nobody. I mean, a couple people are telling me in the chat that they like the live stream, so that's good. But like anybody who sees the replay, just know that I'm sober, and I don't know if that's even a better thing to admit because if I'm not sober, then I can at least be like, oh yeah, this guy's acting very strange on stream right now and saying all these like random things and jumping from topic to topic, jumping from topic to topic like it's nothing. But yeah, let's move on anyway. I can say I'm shy a lot of times. Introverted, I choose to be that way a lot of times too. I like keeping to myself at times. Like it seems like I don't know what it seems like when I project myself onto this camera or whatever, but like I know what I am, and I am, a mix of shy and not shy. Let's just say, I guess. I don't know, introverted and extroverted at the same time. I am. I'm made of Coca-Cola. Like I was bound for, or I was created in a lab and manufactured by the Coca-Cola company to be Coke, not cocaine, but Coca-Cola. No idea what I'm talking about. Zoe, right? What are you doing now? Oh, she's playing with her Saturn toy. Cool. Why is she so active all of a sudden? I don't know. She's sweet. Anyway, next question before I like totally forget to answer this. I'd rather learn about something from a video or podcast than a book. So nowadays, yeah, I think I do like listening to like a podcast and a video to learn, but like books are also like very valuable in the information that they can give you. But I think we're living in the future now, and I think you can get like a lot of solid information from videos as long as they are, credible and they like have like scientific evidence to like back up things if you're looking for factual things. But I mean, you shouldn't always trust videos and podcasts. But books always seem to be like pretty, factual, like I don't know, accurate. So I guess, but for me personally, I guess I'll say video or podcast for this. Catherine, Catherine says books are more or audio now. Yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot of audio books. Everything has gone digital these days, so I completely get it. Hmm. There is okay. So this is. I have so much energy that I sometimes can be exhausting to other people. maybe I maybe I do have a lot of energy to people. Other times I just seem like really like relaxed, or not relaxed, but kind of like easy to handle and stuff like that because like I'm not always high energy, but like a lot of times I can be, I guess. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm a complicated person because I can be like really chill, I guess, at times, and I can be really hyper, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I can exhaust other people. I'm sure I do. So I'm just gonna say I agree for the most part. I guess I don't know. This is my guess. Zoe, what are you doing? I took her out before the stream too, and I guess we've been streaming for an hour and a half. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. Time goes by really fast, guys. So it says the next question. I smile because it says others regard my hobbies or interests as pretty useless, and I guess it really depends, Um, maybe I guess I don't know. Like, and I'm interested in like music and horror stuff occasionally, but like basketball, I really likes basketball, so I have like pretty common interests for. I mean, I don't know, like depends. Man, my voice is really struggling right now. But anyway, disagree. That's a pretty simple question to answer, and I might have to like rifle through these a little bit faster because, uh, yeah, I just want to get to the answer now and like answer obviously to the best of my ability, but moving a bit too slowly. I rarely take things others say at face value. That's the next question. So, hmm, maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. Uh, I'm gonna say no because like I don't. Face value means like you don't really like you treat it as like it is what it is or whatever on the surface or whatever instead of deep diving and thinking about what their rationale is, like what their deep meaning behind what they're saying is. Some people look into something a little bit too deeper and more than necessary. Sometimes I can be that way, I guess. But sometimes it's like nothing personal. I don't know. Just gonna say maybe disagree a little bit with that. Oh, neutral's fine with me because I don't. Maybe sometimes it is, maybe sometimes I don't. Depends on the situation. Now, this is a funny question. It's like it's a very like tough guy kind of question, like a macho question. Like people who mess with me almost always regret it. It's like a very like a revenge oriented kind of question, and it's like, oh my god, it's always about getting revenge and getting back at people who wronged me. And it's like And yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't believe in revenge. Oops. Oh, I'll say people who mess with me always regret it. I mean, well, yeah, you're gonna regret it if you mess with me, I guess. But like, I don't have revenge because like you're gonna regret it because I would hope that you're a good person who doesn't want to mess with me. So I hope you would regret it in that sense. Like, oh, I don't want to treat this person bad because they treat me with respect and kindness. So yeah, I guess that's self-explanatory. You guys see that question? So next question is, I'm willing to pretend that I like someone to get what I want, even if it isn't genuine. That's not me. Like, I don't do things for expectations. Like I said way earlier in the video, the live stream videos, I do things just because I want to do them, not because I expect something from other people. That's kind of psychopathic, I guess. It's. I don't know. No way. I'm not willing to pretend that I like someone to get what I want, even if it isn't genuine. I'm going to do it if it's genuine. I do what feels right for myself. Why would I just like go up to a person and be like, oh, pretend, like waste all that time with them and be like, yeah, I like you. And just be like, in any situation, whether it's friends, relationships, what have you, it's like that seems weird. Like, I know a lot of people do that, but I mean, maybe not a lot of people, but some people do that. But me, I'm not going to waste my, because that puts more stress on me. Why would I do that? Okay, here we go. Almost done here, guys. Almost done here. Hmm. So it says lying to one's partner can be okay if it is done to spare their feelings. Hmm. Hold on, guys. I need to get more water. Mm-mm. Because so no, I don't agree with that. Lying to one's partner can be okay if it is done to spare their feelings. Like, mm-mm. I don't know what to say. Like, it's a pretty straightforward question to me. Like, I don't. I think like if you want to be honest and authentic, you got to be honest sometimes. A lot of times actually. Oh, the question is, I often think that people should make more of an effort to be kind-hearted and respectful to one another. Yeah, sure. I mean, like, why not? Like, obviously, that's what you should be in life. You should always try to be like kind and make an effort to like be respectful. Hmm. Even if things don't go your way, if things don't go the way you planned, and like you shouldn't like take it out on other people. Next question is similar to the one I answered a while back, but it's academic studies don't tell you much about how the way the world works. Hmm. It doesn't. I mean, it really doesn't because I mean, like I said, like academic studies are like really valuable. They can help you and stuff like that, but I don't think they help applying it to the real world that much. Hey guys, sorry guys, like I'm getting like kind of winded here. Like talking for this long is like not an easy feat for sure. That was actually a question we answered. Never mind. I just realized that that was a question we answered. So hold on. Hmm. I can be openly hostile and confrontational with people when people contradict me. I'm not a hostile or confrontational person, so I'll say no. I can be confrontational. I mean, I can be triggered at something. I can like be like, oh man, I am flustered, but like I won't be openly confrontational or hostile. Because some people, whatever issues that some people have, that's their issues, not mine. I can only control how I react to situations and how I treat myself, how I treat other people. Not, I can't control other people, so. Yeah, I agree with this one. I spend a lot of time reading about things that others consider obscure or irrelevant. Hmm. Yeah, because I do read a bunch of random things on the internet and stuff like, useless facts and history facts that people will be like, okay, why does this apply to me? I'm living in the future right now. Or, I'm like, that's cool, but like, Chris, why are you like bringing the information up to me? Like, why does it matter? Big time me, I would say yes. I said double thumbs up. What the heck happened? Hmm. I love attending big events such as concerts or sport matches. Yeah, if it's like something I really like, I don't always go to sporting events or or concerts, but like if it's something I'm really into, I absolutely love going because because I'm into like obviously those bands or that sport match, like the NBA. Basketball is what I love, so yeah, I love doing that stuff. I yield or run away when others intimidate me. Well, if I am intimidated by a person, I'll just like not interact with them or limit my interactions with them. But like if I have to interact with them and I have no choice, like if I'm in a professional setting, you got to compromise, like we were talking about earlier, and like deal with it. Like it is what it is, but you can't really run away from your problems when other people are intimidating you. You got to like kind of face them head on in a smart way, in a pacifistic way, even though I don't know if that's an actual word. But yeah, like in a I don't know, like in a really gentle way. But I don't run away. I guess when people intimidate me or try to intimidate me, I'm just like, okay, you do you. I'm not gonna. I mean, I was gonna say I'm not gonna react to it or whatever, but I just deal with it the way I can. Next question is I'm I'm to prone to improvising rather than preparing everything in advance. I am a preparer. I like to plan. I like to meticulously plan. Obviously, everything in my life, for the most part, I like to like plan out like ahead of time. So, mm, few would say that I'm hiding the real me. I don't hide the real. I don't hide. I mean, if you know me, if you get to know me, you know the real me. Like that's, I don't try to like make it myself mysterious or trying to appeal people by being this like mysterious figure or whatever in life. So, oh yeah, no, I don't hide the real me. Like there's no, I mean, like I am who I am. Last question, guys, and we are gonna find out what my spirit animal is, and hopefully you guys know what your spirit animal is if you were, taking the quiz with me. But I'm not actually sure who's like watching along right now. But uh, I have it in me to act. I have it in me in. I can't talk anymore. I have it in me to act aggressively or impulsively. hmm No, in pursuit of my goals. I don't know. No, I don't act aggressively to pursue my goals or whatever. Not in the way that I don't know. Not in the way that is destructive or like to like push people down to get my goals. But whatever. Hmm. Well, it says nobody's watching right now in the chat. It says 0 right now, so, but that could change. So, your spirit animal test is now deer. So I got deer. Fitting. I had a feeling I was gonna get deer. I think someone in the chat got deer. Like who was the one who got chat deer in the chat? Hmm. Fitting. Overall, people with a deer and spirit animal may tend to exhibit grace, sensitivity, nurturing, and strong connection to nature. This they may also be intuitive and perceptive, and they may be able to navigate difficult situations with grace. Yeah, that's me. Okay, guys, I think I'll wrap it up because yeah, I'm done. And whoever's watching this, obviously nobody's on right now. They all left. Maybe this wasn't very entertaining for you guys, but appreciate all your support. For the people that did show up, I really appreciate that. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Voice is dying anyway, and I'm getting like kind of tired. But thank you, Thank you, Catherine, for staying in the chat. And oh yeah, Ryan got deer. Yeah, that's what it was. Ryan got deer. And anybody who showed up in the chat, though, like I really appreciate your support. And I'll see you in the next video and next upload, next live stream. Hopefully you guys can make it. So, but appreciate everybody. Love you guys. See you in the next live stream. Wow. You too, Catherine. Thanks for coming. And everybody else, like I said.